Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money and the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Go figure, get the figures, let's make about 8.
Cash rule, cash rule,
When worst come to worst, my peoples come first. I was hardly making George before I'd written a verse. Kept my mind straight, no hate. Work with my ambition. Invested in my ideas when nobody would listen. They told me I couldn't do it, so they didn't think I could buy it. But they ain't even trying, ain't no need to deny it. Black continuity of hustle and grind. People been fighting centuries for lives like mine. Trying to look to a higher power, but what I didn't see is the seed of success lies deeper than me. Black Wall Street, gotta get the ground beneath my own feet. Gotta be the sole controller, march to my own beat. Stacking the capital to the best of my ability. More cash in the safe because I put it through liquidity. Started from the minor league, it's basic here, but after practice, cracking the safe after we utilizing tactics.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. Let me know if you guys can see me and hear me okay. If you can see me and hear me, give me a yes in the chat to let me know that you're here and that you're present. Also, if you're Black and you're proud, just say it loud right now. Let me know who you are, where you're from, and what you believe and what you represent. Can you guys see me and hear me okay? If you can see me and hear me okay, just give me a thumbs up or something like that. I want to say hello to everybody on Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, also on Twitter, what's happening on Twitter? My Twitter is Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. That's Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. So feel free to check that out also. So here's what I want to hop into today. I want to ask you guys a question. I'm going to start off with a very leading question. Give me a yes or no if you have canceled Oprah. How many of you are still messing with Oprah? How many of you have canceled Oprah? Yes or no? Have you canceled Oprah, due to Oprah's shenanigans, right? Oprah's interesting behavior as of late. You guys know she got a lot of flack for the whole Russell Simmons thing. It seems like her and Gayle, it's not so much that they go after the Black men. It's more so that they go only after the Black men. They haven't gone after the Harvey Weinsteins or the Jeffrey Epsteins or the Rothensteins or the Steeny-Steins. I mean, she's going after the Black men, and I think a lot of people feel offended by that. And I was one of those people that at least had a question about that. And so anyway, I want to say hello, Kyer. Guyana says, I can't see or hear. Let me know if you can see or hear me. I saw someone else. Kyer says, I can see you and hear you clearly. Let me know if you can see me and hear me clearly, so that way I'll know. Okay, I see. Yeah, okay, I see. Yes, is Chicago, Black Wall Street. All right. So here's the deal with Oprah. So let me hop in here and just read some of this to you. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button. Also, if you're on Twitter, please retweet. If you're on Facebook, please share this. This is from Black Enterprise, and it says Oprah is busted for promoting a colonized book on brown people by a white author. Okay, I don't know what that means, but look, I was curious. So apparently this has to do with a book called American Dirt. And it says the world is hearing from the lovers and the haters, but not too much of the voices in between. Released a week ago. The book quickly became a bestseller on Amazon because, white folks make their money when they put out books and they exploit our stories. They tend to do quite well at it, I guess. It's been swamped in literary controversy. American Dirt was written by Janine Cummings, who is white, about a Mexican mother who flees the country with her son after a drug cartel kills their family. Cummings has been accused of cultural appropriation because of her identity. She's not Mexican or a migrant. She, by Latino readers and writers who say she perpetuates Latino stereotypes. Some say she may have copied the work of Latino writers such as Mexican-American poet born in Spain. She identifies as white in the 2015 New York Times essay. BuzzFeed reported this in the 2019 interview about her book. She identified as, they said Latinx. Now, I don't know if that's a typo. Has anybody ever heard the term Latinx? Like they literally had this twice in this Black Enterprise article. I did not know there was such a thing as a Latinx. I know Latina and Latina, but I don't know what Latinx is. So let me see here. Latinx, oh, it's gender neutral neologism, sometimes used instead of Latino or Latina to refer to people of Latin American cultural or ethnic identity in the United States. The suffix replaces the standard O and I in the nouns and adjectives typical of grammatical gender in Spanish. So does that mean you're not claiming a gender? It's a gender neutral term for people of Latin American heritage. So is that like that whole non-binary stuff that Hollywood is constantly, is that what that is? I think that's what it is. I think, okay, Latinx is a substitute. Okay, so that means you have no gender. Is that what they're saying? I'm being educated. Okay. All righty then. Let me keep going. I'm not even gonna touch that one today. That's a whole nother conversation. Especially when you got guys like Billy Porter going on Sesame Street wearing a big ass wedding dress. How about that? Did y'all see that stuff, that nonsense? Billy Porter, I thought that was interesting. Give me a yes or no. Give me a yes or a no on this. In the whole history of Sesame Street, have they ever once had a white man on Sesame Street wearing a dress? Yes or no? Does anybody in here, there's thousands of you that are going to watch this video, is there anybody in here who has ever seen a white man on Sesame Street wearing a goddamn dress? Yes or no? Has anybody, I need to give me a yes or no. Have you ever seen a white man on Sesame Street in a dress? Prom dress, wedding dress, I don't know what it is. Has anybody, give me a yes or no. I need some yeses and nos in it because I need to know. I'm because I'm real suspicious. I don't really care if a man wears funny outfits. He can wear whatever he want to wear. I don't care. And I do consider a dress to be a funny outfit on a man. I'm sorry. They give Billy Porter props and put him on the covers of magazines because he looks like a fucking fool. That's my 2 cents on the issue, but that's what it is. But don't you find it really interesting that when they're pushing that agenda, that feminine agenda, they're always using us to push that agenda? Like, you ever notice how you watch a movie, the masculine female will be like a black woman, or the feminine guy will be a black man? This is not a coincidence. This is a strategy. This is a strategy because masculine men are a threat. Masculine men, you can easily oppress a community if a big chunk of their men think that they're little girls. Like, that's just real. Seriously. Like we got children in our household of both genders. We got 2 girls and a boy. If you came into this house and tried to rob the house, the boy would fight you and the girls would go hide in the closet. So if the boy thought he was a girl, then he would go hide in the closet with the girls, which would make it much easier for you to come rob the house. So when they come and they want to rob the black community and exploit the black community and destroy the black community and control the black community, then basically what they're going to do is they want to take the alphas, they want to get rid of all the alpha males and turn them into little girls. And so that's why you promote the Billy Porters on TV, so that when you have an alpha male that is 9 years old and he's growing into an alpha male, he starts to identify himself as a person who has to control his toxic masculinity, because he sees Billy Porter is a successful black man and he's on Sesame Street wearing a dress. So maybe that makes him think, as I used to wonder, am I too aggressive? when I was little, and they would tell my mother I need to be put on medication and suspended from school, and I need to learn how to be more, calm, how to calm down and not be so aggressive and all sorts of, like, they were basically telling me that you can't be successful in America as a Black man if you are assertive, aggressive, and ambitious. The only way to succeed as a Black man is if you're feminine and you sit back and you put on your little dress and you cross your legs and you hold your vagina. I guess that's whatever Billy Porter does. And what's also untold is they don't talk about the connection between abuse and men growing up and behaving this way. Billy Porter was heavily abused as a child. They turned his little ass out, poor thing. I feel bad for the guy. They turned him out. And I really argue if they had not turned him out the way that they did, I don't think he would be running around here wearing dresses. So they're cheering for what could be easily defined to be a mental illness. They're cheering it on. They're not helping him. They're cheering it on. So anyway, let me keep going. So speaking of that, though, speaking of Black men who are not afraid, Black men who are strong, I hope you'll check out the podcast tomorrow at 2 p.m. at drboycetv.com. I'm having a brother on tomorrow that I think you're going to like. His name is Willie T. Ribs. Willie T. Ribs is the kind of Black man that your children need to know about. They'll tell you all about the Billy Porters. They'll put Billy Porter in front of your son on Sesame Street. They'll never have Willie T. Ribs on Sesame Street because Willie T. Ribs didn't take that racism shit. Willie T. Ribs is a bad motherfucker. Let me just say that. Willie T. Ribs was a race car driver. He drove in the Indianapolis 500. He dominated the Trans Am circuit, and he's the star of a new Netflix documentary called Uppity, and it comes out tomorrow. Everybody should watch it. And he basically tells his story about how they called him the N-word every other day, and he said, and I loved it. He said they hated me every second, and I loved it. They told me, Negro, we don't want you around here. He didn't ball up like a little girl and say, oh, this just hurts my feelings. He said, I loved it. He said, I'm going to give you more reasons to call me the N-word because I'm about to whoop your ass. Literally, that's what kind of guy he was. And you know what it is? And this is, we're going to bring this up tomorrow when I bring Willie on, is he had a strong father and a strong grandfather. A strong father and a strong grandfather. And when he was faced with racism and he didn't back down, he didn't get scared, he leaned on what he learned from his father and his grandfather. So if it had not been for those strong male figures in his life, he would probably not have been the man that he is today, and the man that he became on the NASCAR circuit. He wouldn't have been able to face up to racism and move forward. He knew who the hell he was, so they could not intimidate him with that bullshit. And y'all got too many Black men out here. You call them the N-word, they want to go home and cry. They don't like me. They hurt my feelings, and I cry at night because it's so hurtful to hear a man call me name. Tito, give me a tissue. I need a tampon to go with it, please. Seriously, y'all got too many little bitchy boys. Seriously, I like Willie T. I love his story, and he's coming on here tomorrow, and he's gonna break it down for you. I think this man should be celebrated and get the respect that he never got from those other people over there. He was backed by Bill Cosby. He was mentored by Muhammad Ali. So I watched the documentary. I got a chance to view it in advance, and it's extraordinarily good. It's called Uppity. It's going to be on Netflix tomorrow. Willie's coming in here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. So feel free to come by and check it out. Anyway, so let me keep going. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the notification bell. Hit the subscribe button. All that stuff. All right. So Oprah basically is promoting this book called American Dirt, and apparently this white lady who is a Latinx. So she's not Latina or Latino, she's Latinx. But she's not, but she's actually Spanish. She's really a white woman who speaks Spanish. She's accused of basically cultural appropriation, a type of literary colonization, if you will. And people are really upset about her book, where she's just, I guess telling the story of these Mexican migrants, and she's not Mexican. She was never a migrant. And so Oprah basically doubled down, and she said she's heard the criticism from the Latinx community, but she's not dumping the novel. Instead, she plans to lean in all the way, hosting a discussion that will bring together, quote unquote, all sides of the debate for an episode in March on her Apple TV Plus Books book club series. In an open letter published Wednesday, 83 authors on the website Literary Hub asked Oprah to reconsider American Dirt as an official book club pick. That number is now more than 100 writers. This is not a letter calling for silencing or censoring, the authors wrote, but we believe that a novel blundering so badly in its depiction of a marginalized, oppressed people should not be lifted up. We are asking only that you remove the influential imprimatur of Oprah's book club as you have in the past upon learning that a book you championed wasn't what it first seemed to be. So, they're pressuring, they're seeking to pressure Oprah to take this book off of her book club list. I don't know if she's going to do it or not. I think it's really interesting, though. Here's why I brought this story up. I honestly, no disrespect to, to the community south of the border, if you will, Latino community around the world. There's no disrespect, but I'm Black first. Like I'm just B1, right? I think about African Americans and Black people around in the diaspora. So there are Black people in Latin America, right? But if you're white and you're Latino, I don't care much about your feelings, honestly. So, but if you're Black and Latino, then I know Black and Latin, I know you're part of who we are. You have that African blood. So you're connected to this directly. But here's the reason I brought this up. I brought this up because, it reminded me of Oprah's shows that she's produced, not just the Oprah Winfrey Show, but also shows like Greenleaf. And I know that many of the writers in many of these situations, the same thing that they're saying is happening in this book, where you got a white lady trying to depict a story of a Black or brown family. That happens a lot on these other shows. Has anybody ever seen a picture of the writers from Straight Outta Compton? Who are the writers for Straight Outta Compton? It's a Jeopardy question. Somebody tell me, have you ever seen the writers for Straight Outta Compton? Give me a yes or no if you've ever seen them or if you know their names. I'm gonna give you a second to think about that, and you probably know where this is going. The writers from Straight Outta Compton are a lady named Andrea Burloff and a guy named Jonathan Herman. Now, Andrea is white as the driven snow, and Jonathan, he just looks like a typical white dude. He's a Jewish guy, right? Because the Jewish community controls a lot of entertainment. That's why I have my students in the Black Business School read How the Jews Invented Hollywood. It's not uncommon actually that this same sort of colonization or appropriation, it doesn't just take place here in Oprah's book that she's promoting. It actually takes place in the Black community on a consistent basis. And so, a lot of the shows that you see, like you'll have a lot of shows that tell a Black story and will have a majority of white writers, which is absolutely the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. It's very offensive, and from what I even understand, like even shows like Greenleaf, a lot of their writers are white. And so that's why I would speculate that Oprah doesn't care. She doesn't care who wrote the story as long as the story is entertaining. But when a white person is writing a Black story, that pretty much is, that's blackface. That's blackface. They're putting on a black face and pretending to be Black people. They're injecting their white spirits into a Black body, right? So it's not even black face, it's Black body, right? Maybe that's a term we can coin. I got my Vicky Dillard gavel. I'd like to call a meeting of the Council of Intelligent Black People. And I'd like to make a resolution. That we use the term Black body as an extension to blackface, right? Blackface is where you paint your face black and you pretend to be Black. We know that's offensive. Black body is where you are falsely portraying a Black person, but a white person is actually the one who's telling the story, that the writers behind the character, that the characters are being defined by white people. The language coming out of the character's mouth is from white people. The image of the character comes from white people. So that's Black body. And I argue that we outlaw Black body in the Black space. So all in favor, say aye. That's my resolution, that we use the term Black body and that we outlaw Black body as a legitimate form of creative expression. All those in favor say aye. I need some people to support me on this resolution. I hope that I can get the support of the council today, because I personally think that that's a bunch of bullshit. I will tell you what, I think that that this idea that people can tell our stories and not be us is a problem. I think Tyler Perry needs to go revisit what he did when he was telling all these stories of Black women and portraying multiple Black female characters, but he's the only writer. I actually liked Tyler as a person. When I talked to him on the phone, he was a very nice guy. But even though he's a very nice guy, that's some bullshit, Tyler. That's some bullshit. So we're going to use the term Black body to describe the now illegal practice in the Black nation. That is an illegal practice of a non-Black person or a group of non-Black people telling a Black story in a vacuum without significant influence of Black people. So it's not to say white people can't be in the writer's room, but the white writer's room can't be majority white when the story is majority Black about Black people being marketed to the world, because y'all are fucking up our image everywhere. So all in favor say aye. I see a lot of ayes from Mark and Lakeisha and Gary and DJ Rick. Thank you very much, Harold. All right, so it looks like the resolution is passed. So by the power invested in me by Black people all around the globe, intelligent Black people all around the globe, I now announce this resolution is passed. All right, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate this. We are making progress. We just holding rank up in this mug. All right, so do me a favor, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell. Also, if you're on Twitter, please retweet this. If you're on Facebook, please share. Also, as a reminder to you guys, if you want to take a look at our financial workbooks for children and flashcards and stuff like that, you can go to financialworkbooks.com. That's financialworkbooks.com. If you want to know more about the stuff I'm doing, you can go to boycewatkins.com. That's boycewatkins.com. We have a lot of good stuff for you. In March, I'm going to be in San Jose and also in Maryland, Hanover, Maryland. Or maybe I don't think it's February. I think it's mostly March. And if you want to see me in San Jose, you can go to wesummit-boyce.com. That's wesummit-boyce.com. If you want to come to the event in Hanover, Maryland, the URL that they have for their event is springintowealth.com. That's springintowealth.com. So feel free to join us. They're going to be great events. All right. So let me just summarize on this issue. I think that what you're really seeing here is that that Black bodying a project is very profitable. That Black people are very interesting to observe. The reason the minstrel shows did so well is because people just, they just love to laugh at Black people. They love to, I guess, have a certain experience that comes from, sort of peering into the seemingly strange lives of Black people and the behavior of Black people and the weird language of Black people or whatever that they thought was interesting about us. We've always been very interesting people to observe. And then also on top of that, though, Dr. Claude Anderson has spoken on this on many occasions. He says that Black people, because we even feed into that, we end up pushing ourselves to be more outrageous than everybody else. Like, if you watch Tiffany Haddish, you know what? I'm not going to dish Tiffany Haddish too much anymore, only because I've gotten word that she actually paid a visit to Dr. Claude Anderson, and I respect that. I'm not letting her off the hook on everything she does, but I have to give credit where it's due, and I know that she is a believer in the Powernomics philosophy and things like that. So maybe she's trying to evolve. So I'm not going to go hard on her, but what I will say though is if you watch some of the minstrel show-ish sorts of characters that are put out in media, they tend to be more outrageous, and they tend to go a little bit further. Like the rapper will have, a normal person will have maybe 5 or 6 tattoos. The rapper will have like 150 all up and down his body, all the way up to his neck, right? Or even on his face, right? The Black female minstrel show type character will be heavily sexualized, or Black people might be louder or whatever, right? So we tend to do these things because we're trying to draw this attention, because that's sort of what helps us pay the bills, because we're so seemingly so interesting. So white folks, I would argue, like to tell our stories and portray us because they know that stereotype is going to sell, and they study you like a rat in a lab. And when they're studying you like lab rats, they're learning how to speak slang just like you. They're learning how to behave like you. And that because the world is kind of intrigued with who you are and intrigued with your story. But understand this too. The problem is, and that's where the Billy Porters come from, right? Billy Porter is loved because Billy Porter is the guy that wears the dress. He carries the banner loud and high for that particular community, and only a black guy can do that. I believe that a white version of Billy Porter would be far less interesting to the world than a black Billy Porter, because that's just kind of the thing, right? We are the entertainers of the world, and we've been typecast as that, right? If you show up and you say, look, I know that we're great entertainers, but we don't want to be the entertainers anymore. I'd rather, instead of being the entertainer, I'd rather be the accountant. They'll say, no, sorry, we've already got an accountant. The Jewish guy's going to be our accountant. Well, or if you say, I don't want to be the entertainer anymore, I want to be the lawyer, I want to be the manager, they say, sorry, we've already got those roles filled. But we have plenty of roles for the entertainer. That's why in that Super Bowl, when the Super Bowl, that Super Bowl ad with Ellen DeGeneres, I point that out. I want you guys to go watch that Super Bowl ad with Ellen DeGeneres. And she's doing there are all these little vignettes all throughout history that they show. Every single one of them is European history. Not one of them represents black people. The only 2 times black people appeared in that ad was one was Richard Nixon's secretary. The other one was Little John the rapper. So basically, black people are expected to show up when you are the entertainment and when you are the help. That's your role in the minds of others. That's why I say, look, if that's a role you're comfortable with, like if you enjoy being the help, if you enjoy being the entertainment, then by all means, go get that white money. That's going to work for you. But if you're not in that category, if you're uppity, like a Willie T. Ribs was, Willie T. There was no space at the time when Willie came out and decided what he wanted to do with his life. There was plenty of space for like black basketball and football players, but there was no space for a black race car driver, right? So he shows up to NASCAR saying, no, I want to get behind the wheel and compete with the white boys. Well, they think that's uppity because you don't know your place. So ultimately, you could find it a couple ways, right? You could, I guess you have 3 choices. You can either get in your place, which a lot of us do, and be happy there. That's why most of your wealthiest black people, successful black people, tend to be entertainers, right? They love making white people laugh. They love rapping and singing for white people, or playing a sport for white people. Like that's kind of the place that you have, right? Or they go into the system and they're frustrated and they're fighting, right? And maybe they make progress, maybe they don't. Or they could succeed and break through a barrier, break through a glass wall, or they can end up being disgruntled and pissed off and upset, which I've seen a lot of black folks feel, like anger all the way up until death. Or you just leave and you can go build your own. So I fit in the last category. I'm in the category of saying, screw all of you. I'm leaving. I'm out. I'm not going to play this game with you. I'll be over here building, because what I found is that the energy, it takes a lot of energy to build, but it also takes a lot of energy to deal with bullshit, right? So I had a choice. It was like, okay, either way, it's going to be hard. If I sit around here and I deal with these folks that don't like me and I'm fighting them every day, tooth and nail, then that's going to be really hard. But also building on my own is going to be really hard. So it's like, choose your hard. Which hard do you want? I said, the reward for overcoming this version of hard is better in my mind than the reward of overcoming this version of hard. Like getting a white man to give me an award is very hard, and it wouldn't mean anything to me because I don't care what they think about me, right? But going over here and building my own is also hard. But if I succeed at that, I'm gonna feel pretty damn good about life, right? So ultimately, it's about choosing your position, getting in where you fit in, and getting in where you want to fit in. And making sure that choice works for you. So don't forget, tomorrow, Willie T. Ribs is coming through. His documentary, Uppity, comes out tomorrow on Netflix. He's going to come in and do an interview and tell his story. He was sponsored by Bill Cosby. Shout out to Bill Cosby. I'll never forget. I will never throw this man away. I don't care what anybody says. Also, Muhammad Ali, who I love, he's from my hometown of Louisville, Kentucky. He was one of his mentors also. And I want you to see Willie, because Willie kind of represents a lot of what I think a black man can be and what a black man should be. His determination to fight through the bullshit is absolutely amazing. I loved his attitude. He not only was able to overcome all the discrimination and all the mistreatment and all the nasty words and language, but he didn't just overcome it. It's like he just embraced it. He's like, okay, this is cool. This is competition. Call me the N word again. I like that. I like the fact that I'm frustrating you so much that you're sitting around calling me the N-word because I'm kicking your ass, right? So I think black men have to carry a little bit more of that swag with them. Hold on for 1 second here. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see me. I hope you guys can see me and hear me okay. But I'm going to bounce on out. So do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Also, last but not least, my website is boycewatkins.com. That's boycewatkins.com. So feel free to check that out. And if you want to check out our financial workbooks for kids, you can go to financialworkbooks.com. That's financialworkbooks.com. So I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Be good. Peace.